Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Welcome to the highlights show of my most recent community open lobby. So we had a Twitch stream yesterday and we invited as many of you into the lobby as we could, which isn't too many in Horizon 3 actually. And we had a good couple of races. In fact, we had about 14 races in total, lasted about 2 hours. And we're just going to have a quick tour of who's in the lobby here. Quite a few guys in the end jumping in and out. And I'm going to go through a little highlights package for you of the best moments of the lobby. We had a good couple of races and the racing was actually very good, apart from when I was missing all the checkpoints and crashing into rocks and trees, apart from those times. But the first race we go to here is in the Aston Martin and it's a sprint race. Now this was one of my favourite races of the whole open lobby. Now I think the racing is often best when you all have the same car. And that is what is happening here. So I'm just going to push that guy into the first corner. It's all getting a bit nasty through the first corner actually. It usually does. It normally gets very crowded. I'm just going to push this guy wide. So we had some very good drivers in this lobby actually. The guy in second at this moment, Dicker BMW Jongen. Yeah, that's my best shot at pronouncing that name anyway. He set the early pace, winning many races to begin with. Now I recorded all of the race winners and that is in the spreadsheet, which is in the description below if you'd like to see who won a certain amount of races in the open lobby and all open lobbies for that matter. There's also lots of other details on that sheet, so that is in the description below. Back to the race, I'm through up into third at the moment, so a decent start. Now I think my main problem when I'm playing and streaming at the same time is concentration. Because I'm trying to read all of the messages that people are writing at the same time, which isn't a good idea because you're just very likely to crash. You only have to look away for 1 second and you'll find yourself wrapped around a tree or a rock or falling off a cliff or something. That is the Forza Horizon 3 way. Now we've got a long straight in the middle of the sprint race here. Coming up to 60% of the race done and we're still in third, so just having to be patient at this moment. Terrathyme and Mr. BMW up the front here having a good battle, and Terrathyme goes a little bit wide through that turn. He's going to get a very bad exit and we're going into a left hand hairpin and they've both gone quite deep. I've gone for a very nice mid apex. Those two guys have lost out a lot there. I'm through to second and we haven't got long left, only about 18% of the race remaining, and it's hotting up quite nicely here between myself and BMW. I didn't win a race in my first open lobby, so we're looking for my very first victory. This is my second open lobby. We don't have highlights of the first one, so we're going to start from now on bringing highlights of the best races. And he's just got very slightly wide and I'm just through into the lead with only 5% of the race left. One big corner to come here though. Didn't get the best entry on the exit, looking behind, and it looks like Force 1 is getting in on the act. And as we cross the line, going to finish first. That is my first and to this moment only win in my open lobby. Next race is the Goliath. So many of you would have seen my fastest XP method race, and everyone's just going to go sliding wide. Pretty much everyone forgetting about how much this car understeers. Well, I say forget, but most people haven't driven this car with this tuned by a Tax Johnson, and it's the 4GT Horizon Edition car. Very much tuned for straight line speed. It is good round corners, very grippy, but it doesn't turn in as well as you'd like. So we're going through Byron Bay here, coming out of the other side, and CG Andrews not going to get the best of exits through that turn. So I'm going to go through into third on the back of Wolf's and Mr. BMW up in the lead at the moment. So this race that we are watching here is the Goliath. And for those of you who don't know, it's a race around the entire map. So it takes about 10 minutes or so. Obviously depending on how good you are and how quick your car is. But roughly 10 minutes, maybe slower in the slower cars. The S2 class we are driving right here. So it's going to take about 10 minutes. And going through the rainforest section, we eventually get towards the outback. As you can see, it's getting a little bit more yellow, the surroundings, and there's less and less trees down this way. I did manage to reel in Mr. BMW up the front here. He was very quick indeed, winning a couple of races at the start, but then I go flying into a tree, losing a good couple of seconds, and CG Andrews is going to come back past me there and take second, and then into the outback section, taking that corner there at 225, you know, just a casual 225 miles an hour, and down the back straight, we can call it here. This is where we can really open the legs of the car. Well, that sounded very rude, but I didn't really mean it that way. So we can actually see the top speed of this car approaching 260 here, and as we go up to this section here, there's a bridge, and CG Andrews is going to get a little bit too far to the left and he's just going to disappear. He just collected the end of the bridge and he's just gone from 260 to 0 and is almost certainly dead. So we move towards the Surfers Paradise area of the map, so the northwest section of the map. We're about 3/4 of the way done in the race, and Mr. BMW has gone into the wall. I've taken the lead. Now it's just about composure here through to the end, or will I read a message in the Twitch chat and put myself off and crash? Let's see. So going through this right-hander at the top end of the map, quite a tricky one, taking all of the bins and benches off the pathway there on the exit of the turn. Now we go down the northern edge of the Shipwrecks beach, and I'm going to take this right-hander just a little bit too quick, go flying into the tree. If it wasn't for the tree, I would have hit the rock. So we're going to lose the place again. It's a really topsy-turvy race here, just mistakes being made left, right and centre. We're handing each other first place back and forth. So onto the beach at the end of the race, just about able to keep up, except for when I go flying into a rock. So I've completed the set there. I've hit a tree and a rock in this race, and we're going to complete the race in the end, finishing second, still getting a decent haul of XP and credits for that one. Well done to Mr. BMW there for winning that one. So move to a race in the Lamborghini Huracan. This is a street race, which is a lot easier compared to the normal blueprint, because in blueprint you can't seem to set a race by class, which is really quite annoying, because we had mixed class races where people were choosing the same car but some had tuned it up to a different class, and it made for some imbalanced racing, although the racing was still good. So this one, we're all balanced in S2, or S1 sorry, and I'm driving the Huracan Horizon Edition here, which is a very good car. The Lamborghini seem to go very well in this class, apart from when you drive them into trees like that. So that seemed to be my main problem in this whole open lobby, just driving into trees, rocks and missing checkpoints. I was missing so many checkpoints, and it cost me so many races doing that. But from here we can try to gain back on the pack, down in 10th, and I'm going to approach a nice sharp right hander here, and by approach I mean not go around it at all, and I'm just going to end up in a river. That is a good way to take a corner. So I'm down in a river now, so 176 viewers are watching me perilously go to my death, and I've just committed suicide in terms of this race because it's just all over now. I'm down in 12th, there's no chance I can catch up at all. So rejoining the track, pretty much just surrendered that race entirely, and I can just give up from this point, just getting XP. There you can see finishing 12th in the end, didn't even cross the line, that's how bad it was. So for a moment there we stopped to get some fuel, and then we moved on to an A-class race, another street class race, and then we go off the line. I'm in the Honda NSX. I do love this car, really good straight line speed, and it's really going a bit crazy here. You'll see with the lag it starts to get a bit mental. In fact, this game does have an issue, I think, with the online. The connectivity issues with some people. Like this guy here is just all over the place, and I have no idea where he's going. The guy in the Focus there, he's just going to ram me off. Then I'm going to suddenly morph sideways, and then he's going to appear back in front of me, and then I don't know, this van here is just going to get totally obliterated, and I'm just going to smash into that skyline, pushing way wide. And then as we come back for the second apex of that turn, the skyline's just going to re-emerge and come back through. Maybe that wider line actually helped him. But as you can see on the map, we've got a long straight section here, and that's going to play back into my hands, because this Honda NSX has really got some good straight line speed, tuned for straight line speed pretty much, this car. So we're going to go back past these guys. We're going up into second. CG Andrews is in the lead at the moment. Wolf's just in third there. BMW fourth, and Rank Pre's in fifth, who did actually win a race in this open lobby. So coming up the long straight section, we're going to approach a couple of right, left, right sections here. Now this right-hander coming up where I kind of messed up, I just took it slightly too quickly, and just could not get back in time to take that checkpoint. Missing the checkpoint once again. Probably that's about the 20th checkpoint I missed in the entire lobby, which was so annoying. I did that so many times. When I had a race win, it pretty much there, and if I had just got that checkpoint, then I would have probably won that race. But just smashing into some Ford Focus again, we seem to be lagging all over the place. We're going back. This is the outback section. So going to slide slightly too wide there. CG Andrews is back past me. Terathime is in the lead at this moment, representing the club at this moment. So we're approaching 20% of the race left to go. Terathime winning the race. Rank Pre's in second. And Dragon1711, who joined the lobby late but did win many races, is coming back through the pack. One to watch is Mr. Dragon1711. He was very quick indeed. The guy in the RZR is just going to slide very wide there. And I'm going to go quite wide actually. And that gives CG Andrews the opportunity to come back. Someone's in the wall in an NSX. And it's a drag race between myself and CG Andrews towards the line. And it looks like the Honda NSX is just going to win out in the end. And I'm going to finish third in that race. No, I'm not. I'm going to finish second. That's really not too bad at all. Dragon1711 with the race victory there. So well done to him for winning yet another race in this lobby. Now we had to pretty much team up to try and beat him this time, because he won about 3 in a row. And he was really taking it by storm. So we moved to a circuit race in the Aerial Nomad. A couple of guys went with the RZR, which I like to call the lawnmower because it looks really weird. Now back onto the off-road section. This car is very good, very twitchy though, I must say. And this left-right chicane that's coming up, which is really tricky indeed. So coming through here, I'm just going to graze the wall in the exit. Yes I am, there we go. Well, I say graze, but I pretty much smashed it. Pretty much obliterated the wall. Just going to push Dragon into the turn, although if anything that probably helped him. He lags out a little bit, comes back, and I'm going to go for a cutback on him. So I'm into third. Top 3 looking very close as we approach the end of lap 1. Coming up a big jump. Got to get the entry to that jump right, otherwise you're flying off for days in the wrong direction. Crossing the line nose to tail, that is close racing. As we come into the first corner of lap 2. I'm up the inside, that's a great move. And I did actually ask Wolves there if I pushed him, and I didn't. So it looked like I actually kind of pushed him into the wall there, or pushed him wide. But I don't think I did. I didn't feel anything on my controller, and he confirmed I did not push him wide at all. So I've gone from third to first at the start of lap 2, pretty good going, and into the chicane. This is a really tricky corner, and I just turned right there, and you can see I was going to miss the checkpoint, so I had to turn back left and lose a lot of time because of that. Guy behind me just sliding wide, and I've been passed for the lead. Terathime in the lead at the start of lap 3, going into the wall, losing yet more time. I think the race win was on there if I didn't make that mistake, so losing 2 more positions to Jace Casson and BMW. So coming through the chicane once again, going to graze the wall, and by graze the wall again I don't mean that, I mean smash it and totally obliterate it. Jace Casson missed the checkpoint I think, so he just kind of teleported backwards. Bit of contact through the last corner between myself and BMW, but Terathime is going to come through to win this one, so he takes his only race win of the lobby. So well done to him for taking the victory on this one. It kind of could have gone many ways this race. I made so many mistakes. I could have won it, Terathime could have won it, BMW could have won it, but in the end Terathime taking the victory there. So we lined up on the drag strip, aka the airport runway, for a drag race, and let's see what we can do here. We've got a Koenigsegg in X class and a full GT as well in this one, so we're going to see what's going to happen here. The Koenigsegg takes an early lead, and I thought that was it. I thought that was game over. Now full GT takes off there, and I thought he was going to claim second, and I kind of just get beaten here. Audi R8 just goes flying off. Dodge Viper here, very close race between myself and him, and the Lamborghini's just going to come back at me the last moment. I'm just going to claim 6th position there. Dragon taking that race in the full GT actually in the end, just under 20 seconds for that race. So a very quick car indeed, that full GT when tuned up properly, beating a Koenigsegg in X class. So we move on to the final race. Now this race was absolutely brilliant, especially the ending. So off the line we go. I'm on pole position, but I lose out initially to Jace Casson in his Lamborghini off the line, and I'm just going to miss that checkpoint. That's a really good start, but we can go back. It takes so long to to teleport back and wait, honestly, that is a deterrent to you. If you want any more deterrent to not miss a checkpoint, it's that. It's just the fact that it takes so long to teleport you back. So that is a good reason to make sure you don't miss a checkpoint. And I'm not the best person to give advice on that, because I'm the one who always seems to miss them. Just trying to be too careful, just trying to save that millisecond by just cutting it slightly, and it seems to just pay off less times than it does. So that's quite annoying. You can actually just go beyond the outside of the smoke barriers or the checkpoints. You can just go outside of them, but only if you are just about on the outside, not by much. And just going through here, a couple of guys are having a very bad corner there. It's that chicane catches a couple of people out. So I'm through up into 4th, so not a bad recovery as we head through halfway into this race. Wolf's up in the lead, so he's winning at the moment. I'm up into 3rd now. Jace Casson holding a decent 2nd. Now this section here is, again, it's going to be very tricky. When you're racing at night, it can be very difficult to realise where you are. And if you get a jump wrong like I did there, or almost get it wrong, you can be flying off in the wrong direction for many miles to come. Now if you're looking at the map, you can see there's a couple of chicanes coming up, or hairpins, and I get this one pretty much perfect, going in for a very tight apex, and we're closing in on Wolfs, who is leading the race, and we've got a bit of a gap back to Jace Casson in 3rd. So into the right-hander, this is the final corner pretty much. We both go too wide, and then coming back on, we turn around to try to get the next checkpoint, and we both pretty much just turn into this metal barrier around this pole. Jace Casson is going to come through and nick the race victory, it looks like here. So now it ends with a drag race to the end of the race. Wolf's currently, it says that he's in the lead, but that is at the previous checkpoint. Jace Casson now takes the lead, 1/10 ahead of Wolf's, and at the end it's going to be Jace Casson who takes the victory from Wolf's, from myself. Now that was a race where I could have snuck a victory there if I just didn't mess up that final corner, and in many ways that kind of illustrates the whole lobby really, because there are so many races where I could have won it, just made one silly error and it cost me the victory in the end. But that is going to bring a close to the first highlights package of one of my open lobbies. I thank everyone who joined the lobby. Sorry to everyone who wanted to join but couldn't. Kind of annoys me that you can only get 12 people in a lobby. I wish you could get 24 in Horizon 3. It would suit the game better. Because maybe in Forza 6 24 is too many, but I wouldn't say it's too many in Horizon 3. So unlucky for those who couldn't get into the lobby. There will be many more to come in the future though. So for those of you who want to see the results of the open lobby, you can check out the spreadsheet, which is in the description below. As for my club, we are in the top 11 in the world, which is on the front page. We have reached 1,000 members and we have reached 1 billion total XP. So thank you to everyone who has worked hard to try to rank up in the open lobbies and in the club itself. So we're doing very well there. I will be deleting inactive members, so there is chance for people to still join that. And subscribe if you'd like to see more like this, guys. Hit me up on Twitter and Facebook and on Twitch if you'd like to know when I'm doing future open lobbies. And I hope to see you in the next one. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit that like button if you did like this video, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.